Hey folks, Dolph and Dale, and I'm here with some dollar records. And I got them from two different sources. I got them from the Goodwill across the street from where I work, and I got some from Jenny over at B-Sides Records. That's BEA Sides Records. I'll put a link to her channel in the description, and she's a real sweetheart. And her husband's a real sweetheart too, Dave, and they do auctions, and they're good people. I like just going over and hanging out. But I got some dollar records from them, and we're going to take a look at all those in this video. First up, we'll look at the Goodwill records. And when I started going through the pile at Goodwill, I saw a couple of Barbra Streisand albums. I saw her first and her second, but they were real scuffed up. Then I saw this, Barbra Streisand, a Christmas album. I thought, well, it's probably going to be scuffed too. But to my surprise, it didn't look too bad. And it's on Columbia. But it looks like it might clean up and play well. So I picked it up. This next gentleman I've never heard of before. His name is Frank Fontaine. And I'm not sure why this cover. This is not a comedy album. This is a crooner album. It's Frank Fontaine, Songs I Sing on the Jackie Gleason Show. But I'm not sure what's up with that cover. The only thing I can think of is that maybe he was famous for playing this character, and they thought if they put a serious picture of him, and here's one, that maybe people wouldn't recognize him and maybe not buy his album. That's the only thing I can think of, but he's before my time, so I'm not real sure. But this is Frank Fontaine, orchestra conducted by Sammy Spear, arrangements by Sid Feller and Bill Stegmeyer. So, yeah, I listened to a little bit on YouTube that somebody did a reel-to-reel video, and I'll try to remember to link that as well. And yeah, it's crooner music, but boy, you sure wouldn't get that from that cover. Let's look. It's got a original inner sleeve. Appears it is, because it's ABC Paramount. Check out that label. I've never seen that one before. But yeah, that's Frank Fontaine. Next up is a gospel album, Happy Goodman Family, Portrait of Excitement. Had to pick this up. Very famous family. This is on Canaan. And yeah, so I'm familiar with this group, if for no other reason than hearing Russ Taff talk about them when we go to Bell Buckle. He's got a great story about the time he asked Vestal Goodman to pray for him in a hotel lobby. And she did, on the spot. There's the back of it. Take a look at the vinyl. It's on Canaan. Kind of a simple label, but this is an older record, an older gospel record. So there you have the Happy Goodman Family. Then we've got Truth. This is Departure. Truth is kind of a contemporary Christian vocal group. Back, it's kind of cool. Looks like a equipment box. It is a gatefold, though it's only one album. The next album is a band called Brush Arbor. This is called Hero. This band is, I knew they were a Christian band because they were on Myrrh Records. They tend to, the music they play, they're kind of coming out of that, that 70s country rock era. See the center sleeve. Pictures of the band and lyrics. And there's that gold myrrh label. It looks like a pretty good copy of a record. There was one spot that looked like it had something on it that might be troublesome to get off, but I don't even see it now. But anyway, that's Brush Arbor. They're kind of country gospel. Holly Near. I picked this up. I couldn't remember. It seemed like I had heard her name before. Seems like she's had a long and recording career. This was her 5th album, I believe. And yeah, I assumed it was, I thought maybe it was folk or country, and I'm not sure. But I thought I'd take a chance on it. Fire in the Rain. And she has played with some people, and I looked it up earlier, and I can't remember now who it was that she's played with that I'm familiar with. But anyway, Holly Near, Fire in the Rain. Got the Statler Brothers. This is 10th anniversary. They're looking quite stylish. Cool car. And this is on Mercury Records. Gotta love some Statler Brothers. One of the iconic country vocal groups. And then the last of the Goodwill records, Howard Jones, 1 to 1. Of course, being an 80s teenager, quite familiar with him. There you have the Electra label with, this is quite kind of interesting. We've got him on the custom centering on the other side. So there you have it, Howard Jones. The next bunch of records came from Jenny over at B-Sides, and there's some really interesting records here. I almost didn't get them, though. After the auction, I was a little slow in emailing her, and she went ahead and sent them out before I even paid for them to my old UPS store box. And fortunately, I know the owner down there, and we were able to get something worked out, and I got in there and got the records. But yeah, I'm excited about having them. There's some really cool records. Let's get to looking at those. First up, Cha Cha Cha. This is Raul Martinez and his orchestra. And I know absolutely nothing about them. And I know what you're thinking. I just got this record because of the lovely lady on the front. And if you are thinking that, you'd be absolutely correct. Because I don't know this Raul Martinez and his orchestra. But the young lady on the front isn't just any attractive young lady. That's Mary Tyler Moore. Very young Mary Tyler Moore. And, yeah, I wasn't going to pass that up. As I look at the album, it's on a, it looks pretty good. Looks like it's got a few surface scratches. Wow, that's, look at that. I didn't notice this earlier. That's transparent. It looks kind of wine colored. Interesting. It's on the Mayfair label. Wow. Man, I hope this plays. That's cool. I hadn't noticed that before. Wow. Cha cha cha. And yeah. And one final look at Mary Tyler Moore. Here's another album with a young lady on the front. Happy Banjos. This is the Big Ben Banjo Band. What? I had to pick this up. And it was because look at those banjos. They are so happy to be around this young lady. And that strikes me as funny. And I'm amused by it. I'll often pick up, especially if they're cheap records, I'll pick them up if they amuse me. It's on the Capitol label. It looks pretty good. Looks like it's going to play. Yeah, isn't that a great cover? Got another album with the young lady on the front. Look at this young lady, Tanya Tucker. Big Tanya Tucker fan. Now on this album, man, she looks young. Yeah. But to be fair, when she did this album, she still would have been a cougar to me. Because I looked at it, it's a 1975 recording. So I would have been 9 when this came out. She would have been an older lady. So perspective. Here we go. MCA. Man, that's a nice looking copy too. I don't think there's going to be any problems with this record. Very excited to add that to my Tanya Tucker collection. This next album I picked up because of Jerry Reid, of course. Eastbound and Down. Yeah. Love some Jerry Reid. Not too familiar with Freddie Hart and Sammy Smith, but I get to know them a little bit. As all 3 of them are on this album. This is on Harmony. Looks like one. I was about to say it looks like it's on one of those cheap Pickwick like labels, but no, this is a product of Columbia Records. So there you have it. Man, I hope this next one plays. Lenny White presents The Adventures of Astral Pirates. So they're not just regular pirates, which is pretty cool to be a regular pirate, but they're astral pirates. Gatefold. It's one record, but it's got a gatefold, kind of a comic book looking type story. There's the whole picture. That's so cool. That's a very cool cover. And this is kind of funk fusion. Can I put that term out there? Funk fusion? Because it's not just regular fusion. It's quite funky. So there it is on Elektra. It looks pretty good. I think this, there's a few, it's got a few abrasions on it, but man, I'm excited about that record. Got weather report, heavy weather. This is more Fusion. Love that cover. Isn't that awesome? It's on Columbia. Looks pretty good. Any marks are light marks, but it's a pretty good looking record. And finally, we've got The Art of Milt Jackson. This is a gatefold with 2 records, actually. And man, lots of great artists on this, jazz players. I'm thinking this must be a compilation. Well, it does say The Art of Milt Jackson, the Atlantic Years. Of course it's a compilation. And some of the names on here, I won't read them all, but I'll read some of the big ones for me. That would be Julian Cannonball Adderley, Art Blakey, Kenny Burrell, Paul Chambers, Ray Charles, John Coltrane, Tommy Flanagan, Coleman Hawkins, Percy Heath, Eddie Jones, Hank Jones, Jimmy Jones, Horace Silver, Art Taylor. Man, there are some big names on here. And Skeeter Best. Now, I've never heard of Skeeter Best, but I just dig the name Skeeter. So, yeah. There you have it. That's my stack of records. Looks like Aretha's about to get in trouble. So we're going to have to wrap this up. Man, I'm glad you stopped in. And hope you're having a great week. And hope that we get to do this again real soon. Until then, peace.